everybody, welcome to the channel for new battle report. This is another practice game that I played against Empire of Sonnstahl, an army against which I wanted to get a bit more experience because it has a lot of tricks. So it's typically the type of army that you need to train well against to play with the correct game plan. You know already my list has been more or less the same the previous games, so nothing special here to mention. My opponent's list was the following. So basically it's around 2 big blocks of infantry, a couple of support units, a state militia, the chaff. He has 6 scoring units, which is a lot for Empire, an independent unit of Sun Griffin to threaten on the flank, 4 war machine, 2 rocketeer, 2 volleygun, and then the double marshal general BSB and 2 how can I call them, the support chariot, so the 2 archon engine, the foresight and the archon shield, plus a prelate, which is a good magic phase, a good amount of buff to buff his main blocks and make them better in close combat. And then it's mainly about doing range damage. We were playing all the ground on Dawn Assault, and below you have our 2 spell selections. Matchup analysis. So yeah, I think what concerns me at first sight, or what I need to take care about at the first sight, is the volley gun. I think overall I have tools to deal with them, and if they want to be in range of juicy stuff, I need to punish them in return. So the first priority for me will be to get rid of the volley gun that can do some damage to my infantry. It can basically make me a bit softer than in close combat. So definitely that's going to be my number 1 range damage target. After that, trying to reduce the guard before I engage them, and the rest should be okay. Overall, I felt the Incarnate and the Lugars, Disciples of Lugar, if they are not too reduced, should be strong, and that's also the reason why I want to get rid of the volley gun and all war machines as soon as possible to be in control, because they bring kind of a variance around the matchup, because if he deals with them quickly, do a lot of damage with range damage, I could be in trouble with those units being too reduced to not having enough combat power to go through and win it. Estimation, I think the game is pretty open. It's really about who plays it better and gets the best luck with range damage against the opponent in the early turns. And after that, I think we should know who is going to be in control of the game and the secondary objective. Deployment, so on purpose I will try to do that more if I'm counter deploying, is basically to make you think about it and what you would have done yourself while I'm describing the opponent's deployment. I think it's always good to use your brain and not only watch and see what I did or just constat what I did. Is just to also think for yourself how you would have solved the puzzle in some way, because our game it's all about problem solving. So let's describe how he deployed. So we have here all the ground. I won the roll for side. I gave him an impassable, and I checked. Obviously the wall is outside of the 6 inch to the center, because that matters a lot. So he can go behind the wall, but he will not be scoring all the ground. So if he wants to score, he has to come out of the wall. And I have a hill that I can use to my advantage for multiple reasons. So I felt definitely this part of the map is really good for me. He deploys the following. We have the Sun Griffin, support unit, militia, volleygun, rocketeer, the 3 chariot. I think this one is the prelate. Another support unit with the 2 character. Then we have the big block of guards, the big block of halberdiers, and the handgun on the right. And my counter deployment, obviously I use the hill to hide all my multi-wound stuff and also my chaff with the hill from his shooting. So volleygun and rocketeer doesn't see all these units, so that's also the main reason why I like a lot this hill on the matchup. And then I place 4 scoring units in the middle. We have the bastion, vassal levies, the big unit of blunderbuss, and the Lugars here that are not too troubled by the lake that could cause some DTs. And I fancy the matchup somehow. I think against the halberdier I shouldn't be too worried. So I felt all scoring and hiding of stuff to minimize his turn 1. Let's move on to his turn 1. So he pushes forward, takes the wall as expected, push these guys all the way around. In the magic phase I dispel the silver spike on the bastion. I get ice and fire on the vassal levies, kill 2 of them. And then on 1 dice, you get a +1 to hit on one of the rocketeer. Militia will do 1 wound to the bastion, and he will pretty much do nothing with the rocketeer except some wounds on himself. And with the volley gun, he's out of range. My turn number 1, I move myself in range of the first volley gun. I push the Incarnate on the hill. To be fair, I think it's one turn too soon, because they will be in range from the volley gun, so I think I could have waited one turn more, but I was afraid that he could push too soon and then I wouldn't have a line of sight. But I think by wheeling a bit I could have been just here and have a line of sight, still be threatening, but having cover and not risking to get double shot by a Rocketeer plus a volley gun and get killed most of my unit. The 2 unit on the left remains behind the hill, and then I push the rest forward. By respecting a bit his charge range, but I'm getting ready also to jump on turn 2 on all the ground. In Magic Phase, I get a breast weapon on myself, then on 2 dice I fail a pentagram on the volley gun, roll a double 1. Mark for Doom on Gravecall will be dispelled with my 4 dice against his 5, and then I'm going to fail the Gravecall on 2 dice. So I think I did pentagram, then Gravecall 2 dice, and then Mark for Doom 2 dice, and then Gravecall 4 dice against 5. So I only got the breast weapon, but to compensate a bit my casting roll or his dispelling, I managed to roll a crazy good breast weapon, double 6, one shot the volley gun, and this makes a lot of panic check around, and the only one that's going to fail panic check is the other volley gun, which is very unfortunate for him, because on one turn I put out of order the 2 volley guns for the next turn, so that's really cool for me. His turn 2, he pushes the militia forward. This war machine cannot shoot, the rest just pushes a bit forward, but he puts on I think he has no unit around the 6 inch of the middle, which I think is a mistake. I should have pushed a bit more to be in range. Since I have to get rid of the volley gun, I cannot do everything at the same time, so I felt he could have pushed more, tried to score it. The rest he pushed a bit on the flank. I think he's happy about the stalemate on the left, and he's getting this unit mainly to provide counter charge in case I want to push too much. Magic Phase, he got an Hearing Strike, did 3 wounds to my Incarnate, then he got rerolls to hit Divine on the militia. The Rocketeer will do nothing to my Incarnate, luckily for me. Like I said, I should have stayed behind the hill one more turn with the Incarnate. I'm not in a rush here. My turn 2, I charge with the Incarnate against the militia. I use my Vassal to chaff him and get 1-0 on all the ground, and then I push all 3 units forward to get closer to the middle and get some magic, get this unit within 18 of this volley gun. Here I push slightly forward, I prepare the Overlord to push towards the left, still protected from any of his shot. As you can see, this volley gun has only 2 wounds left and did pretty much nothing until now. My Lugar start to suffer from his handgun. Every turn they do a lot of damage, so I'm keeping a threatening position, but yeah, still I want him, if he charges, to be in the water, to not be steadfast. So I'm using the train against him, basically. In the Magic Phase, he dispelled the breast weapon. I'm going to get a Gravecall that do against the Imperial Guard, I guess, and I'm going to do, no, the volley gun, sorry, and I will do 4 wounds total on the volley gun. So I leave him on 1 wound. Then he flee with the militia and I restrain. That's about it. His turn 3, he charges me with the scoring to the flank of the Vassal Levies that were chaffing. He pushes the guard to get also within 6, so he has 2 scoring units within 6. And he still respect what I can do with this unit, because the lake moves a bit forward with some unit. Rally the militia, I can see them, but I'm not chaffed by them, which gives me plenty of option. Magic Phase, I dispel an Hearing Strike, I dispel Ice and Fire. The 2 are bond spells, so you can potentially get those 2. He gets reroll to wound somewhere, I think close combat. Then he does some wound to my warriors, and the Rocketeer do nothing as well this turn. It was really poor what he did with the Rocketeer. He killed one of the Kadim Incarnate, I think with another shooting, maybe the volley gun, I think did some wounds. And that's it, close combat. He killed everybody except one that's going to flee, and then he restrain. My turn number 3, I activate my chaff to chaff the guard. Preparing a lot of shooting to get rid of this unit, potentially. The Incarnates stay where they are, because if I charge him, I felt if I charge here, he's going to flee and I can end up here in front, and then he can just eat me with 2 units. So didn't like too much this could have been a play, and then I could have pushed those units forward, but still I didn't like the fact that I would be losing control, especially I had a solid game plan for the middle. This turn I bring 3 units within 6. I think this one was too far, so I bring 2 units and he has 2, so either I can get rid of this unit or it will be still 1-0 after this turn. but I get the range damage, and I know that I cannot really create something with the Overlord due to the Rocketeer, so I go behind the hill again, and I'm starting to prepare myself to support the Bastion, and go out and support the Bastion to threaten the Guard, basically, because the left flank seems to be blocked, and I can't really push with the Overlord without being shot by a Rocketeer, which I don't like. In the magic phase, I get Gravecold, kill 5 guards. Then with the attribute of Pyromancy, I kill the volley gun, which is really nice. I get a breast weapon on myself, and with the attribute of Pyromancy, I killed Rocketeer. So that's perfect for me. I got 2 spell and the 2 blaze that finishes the War Machine, so that's really perfect. And I also got then the Pentagram on 2 dice against 4 dice. I kill 5 guys in the small unit in the middle, and then the last spell I also got a Mark for Doom, so I cast all 4 spells, which is crazy, but I was polite enough to roll a 1-2 wound on the prelate, so, or on the mage, I think it was on the mage. But yeah, that was crazy magic phase. Close shooting, but then I get, I think I was like 8 wide, so 16, 20, 36 plus a breast weapon, and I kill all 15 guys left in the unit. Yeah, my range damage is so good against resilience 3, so I wipe out the unit, and then I have 2 scoring, he has only 1, so it's 2-0 on all the ground, which is huge. His turn 4, it charges my cavalry, and he understands that he lost already all the ground. It's going to be really hard to recover because I have all 3 scoring units here ready to do something. I think he attempted the charge on a 9 onto this unit here. Stand and shoot, I killed 2 and he failed charge. I think it was a very risky charge for him. I put the odds here. That's what his guard should do. He would have been in range of the distracting and the reroll to hit, but not the lightning reflexes. And with that, he should do an average 6 wounds, while I should do 10 wounds. So I should be winning the combat. And even if he sticks, then I have a counter charge from the Lugar in the flank, and he can't do nothing about that. And I think that was, he told me after that, yeah, it was a mistake. It was just out of frustration that he wanted to send this charge. But luckily for him, he failed it. Here I continue to chaff me. Here I continue to flee. Those guys, yeah, charge the chaff. In Magic Phase, he got an Earring Strike, 2 wounds on the Incarnate, got reroll to hit on the Dummy Griff, the Knight of the Sun Griffin. The Rocket did nothing as well, the last Rocket. And I think he did 1 wound to my Incarnate with the Militia. Shooting, he killed 4 more Lugars, and close combat, he killed my Fast Cav and Restrain. My turn number 4. I had a charge that was funny, which is this one here, would be only because of the Fleeing Vassal be touching 1 model, but what I didn't like is the fact that most likely will be steadfast and then can just counter charge me. So obviously I didn't charge, just move out of arc and threatening the flank. This guy continued to flee. Here I move back with the Incarnate, ready to jump behind the hill. And this guy, now that there's only 1 Rocketeer left, hides behind the Bastion, but ready to counter charge in case this unit wants to charge my Bastion. And now I'm getting ready to start to do some wounds on the Imperial Guard. I think I killed 5 until now, and now I'm in range to do magic and shooting with all my miniatures. The 36 shot plus the magic should kill like a good 10 of them, and after that I think he cannot engage me anymore. The Lugars move back, they are just zoning, keeping 2 units within 6, so I will be 3-0 up and winning the secondary, so I can start to retreat slightly. Don't need to take any unnecessary risk. Magic Phase, get Gravecold, kill 8 guards, then Pentagram, kill another 1, and then with shooting I'm going to kill 8, so I kill 17 guards this turn, which is absolutely crazy. So he's turn 5, he knows that he needs to turn around, he cannot come at me anymore. So turns around, move away, those guys move slightly back, here move slightly back, yeah, just retreat and save the points. A Magic Phase, I Binding Scroll, an Earring Strike, I Dispel Ice and Fire, he gets Silver Spike, 1 wound on my Incarnate, he gets also +1 to hit on 1 dice on his War Machine, and then he did nothing with the Rocketeer on my Incarnate, so I'm still alive with 1 model. He killed another 4 Lugars, and then I get a couple of ward save on the, I think 2 ward save on the Rocket. So for 1 time that he hit well, wounds well, I get 2 ward saves. So yeah, saving the points, luckily half the point from the Incarnate, which still worth a couple of points. My turn. I elected not to charge here with the Bastion because in case he flee I could end up being in the middle of the board and then be threatened by multiple flank charges. It's always something to keep in mind if you're in control of the game. Do smart decision and don't rush any decision, because here Could have been an easy choice to say, okay, I'm charged and get rid of you, but if he flees, I could be in big trouble here in the middle of the map and get combo charge everywhere. So yeah, not do crazy choices, hiding those guys moving back, the vassal jump out of the board. In a magic phase, get press weapon dispelled, grave call, kill 2 guards, and I kill the militia with shooting. His turn 6, he move a bit backwards, my turn 6, just going to do magic, get half point of those guys, and I'm going to get a 9 charge onto the handgun with the Lugars that are going to one-shot them. So luckily getting also those points, which wasn't expected, and that's the end of the game. Ended up being a 12-8 that moved to a 15-5 due to the secondary objective that my opponent was never able to get close enough to. Yeah, quickly post-game analysis. So I was able to take advantage from the map. Obviously, it matters. This hill was really helpful for me, and then I was able to push forward at the right tempo. My opponent gave me enough time to clean one more machine after the other without being pressured too much. He could have potentially put more pressure. And yeah, the fact that I was 2-0 up on all the ground then put me on the front foot. The War Machine, his output of War Machine was really, really low against my Occultist. That was quite effective, and that was decisive in the matchup. I was never able to find an opening on the left, which is why I repositioned the Overlord, which after he retreated with the Imperial Guard, I was never in a position to really hunt him down, but still was interesting to have the Overlord as a counter charger in case he would have tried any crazy charge. Turn 2 EOS, and also I forgot to mention, but the Overlord, for his charge of Halbardiers against my Infernal Warrior in the middle, my Overlord had a counter charge onto those units. So I had not only the Lugar, but also the Overlord that would have been able to counter charge. Turn 2 EOS, yeah, I think he should have tried to put more scoring in the middle. At this turn, I think should have gone with 3. I should have put the Halbardier and risk the charge and be ready for a counter charge from the light infantry. I think he can try that and just move forward 5 wide and expect to be steadfast. Turn 4 EOS, not a good fight to take for the Halbard, like the stat showed us. Once the guard hit the wall, I knew I could manage them. Obviously was the game plan. I knew I just had to chaff them one turn, shoot them, and after that it couldn't come anymore. And it's another confirmation for me that my range damage shooting and magic is really effective against Resilience 3 armies and units. Guys, that's all for this little training, so it was quite interesting for me. And talk to you soon on the channel for another battle report. Bye bye, take care.